Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and this is...
Autumn Garibay. Hello.
And today we're going to talk about Disney Plus's 2020 Stargirl. Spoiler warning, there is spoilers throughout for the 2020 Disney Plus film Stargirl in this content. We're going to talk specifically about how this movie overlaps, intersects, impacts 2020 U.S. American presidential primary race politics. All right. And then, so first of all, to just tie this into how this actually impacts politics, if you're not so one, I've been saying for a long time that American entertainment is a massive element of American politics. And if you're not paying attention, boy, is that true now, right? So one, the movies are gone, right? So Disney Plus is the new Hollywood. And if you think I'm wrong, that's the exact term that Grace Randolph, the best movie critic in the world, used today. And boy, oh boy, is entertainment slamming right directly into American politics, very directly right now. And you are looking at streaming very quickly becoming a massively important American industry. And even more power is going to be behind American entertainment because people are doing so much streaming now. It's incredible. All right. We watched Stargirl. Why don't you explain to people what Stargirl was, and go ahead.
Yes, Stargirl is a fantastic movie, again, on Disney Plus, and I believe he's right. We probably might not have watched it, definitely wouldn't have watched it together if we weren't home for because of COVID-19. But the basic premise, it starts off as a sweet love story between a girl and a boy. A girl who's very eccentric, and a boy who's learned to go with the flow, just to not get bullied.
Yeah.
As it progresses, the girl's eccentric yet caring nature gets her in trouble, particularly with the rest of the school. She feels pressure to just be more normal, and the boy accepts her more that way, but that ends up in them breaking up and ends in Stargirl leaving the town entirely. But she was so eccentric. Her high school viewed her as this like magic witch type girl who was only here. Maybe she was a ghost. All these stories popped up while she was far in some other town with her mother. So watching this and talking briefly after, we saw so many parallels with particularly the Democratic primary race.
Oh yeah, big time.
So should I get into the first?
Yes, yeah. But first, let me just say a couple things about the movie. 5 out of 5 stars. We absolutely recommend every single one of you watch this. It's really good. If you don't have Disney Plus, you should. There's a ton of cool things on it. What it's done for us, I think, is just pushed up the quality of everything we're watching. Because when you don't have Disney Plus, your lower quality stuff. We really like it. It's been really fantastic. And they're bringing consistent good content. This is a 5 out of 5 star movie in my opinion. We really enjoyed it, and I definitely suggest hit that political button. Where did this cross over?
So one of the first connections I had was Stargirl. This eccentric manic pixie girl really is Andrew Yang, because
ding.
Throughout the whole thing, all of us watching it were like, is Stargirl magic? Is she an alien? She seems to make it rain, make it snow. She, knows everyone's name and birthday before meeting them. But at the conclusion of the movie, it's a pretty definitive no. Stargirl is... It's a
definitive no. She's not. She's just a real human being.
Yeah, she's just a person, and that's kind of the point. And I'd say the same for Andrew Yang. He's just a person, and that's kind of the point. But they also showed the way he and Stargirl appeared to be magic is that they've just done the work and made relationships. She had an office, a whole shed full of pictures and calendars so that she could remember people's faces and birthdays, and just really make them feel loved, even on her first day of school, which is what she did. And I think what Andrew Yang did, we've connected politics to lots of cinematic things. This also reminded me of when we talked about Andrew Yang in Cats, where you literally made the connection to Mr. Mistopheles, the magical cat.
And but Andrew Yang is definitely Stargirl. Go ahead.
And I think that we, if you've seen Cats, also spoilers on Cats, I guess, are now in this...
For all three people that saw that movie, really good.
Are kind of in this sad era where Deuteronomy hasn't come back, and we have to realize that... Mr. Mistopheles is just a cat, or that's not what happened in Cats, but it seems like that's what's happening in life right now. But Stargirl does give that kind of grim magic that Stargirl is a real girl, but that doesn't make her any less special, and that was a really powerful message.
That's really fascinating because, one, it's a powerful analogy. I just want to let you people know. So one, my kids have been helping me with my videos recently, and normally my scripts are very short. I'll just have 2 or 3 concepts, and then I'll hit those concepts. And I had 3 concepts for this video, and we threw them all out to talk about Autumn's concepts, which were much better than mine. But it's really fascinating because this is very real for me. So basically, I really very much did believe Andrew Yang was magic, right? In that, what do I mean by that? Well, I feel like we have seen real magic in my lifetime, and that was Obama, right? So a lot of people don't, Reggie, who was there was an African-American candidate who came up in the 80s and the 90s. Holy cows, I cannot even remember his name now. He was very, very good, and he got a lot of traction, but he went nowhere, and people were like, no, you're not going to be president. And then Obama came along, and there were a ton of people. When Obama was running, no one thought he could win. There were very few people thought he could win. Everybody realized he was incredibly charismatic, but the idea that he was going to displace first Hillary, and then I don't even remember who he was going. I think it was who was he going? Who did Obama? Was it like Mondale or somebody else? I can't even remember. But Obama defeated a significant, an establishment candidate, which was shocking, right? Because it was George Bush, and then we were going in, and I can't even remember who the Republican was that he beat. But the reality is, it was historically important, and that truly was magic. You're like, and I don't need to apologize for saying that. He's the only minority president we've ever had in 232 years. Like, that is, like, every odd was against it. And so I was like, yes, Andrew Yang is the next magical candidate. He's going to be able to defeat all the Americans who think of the simple silhouette, and that every American president has to have 2 attributes. And if they don't have those attributes, they can't be president. And I truly thought, when he was knocking down debate, poll numbers, donation numbers, when he was crushing every checkbox, I was like, this is the person. He's got that momentum. He's got that magic wand. He's got the runes. He's got the wizard's robe. This dude is magic, just like Obama, right? And he wasn't. He was just a regular dude. He failed. He utterly failed. And guess what? I don't sign in on this. We changed the UBI conversation. Conversation don't mean jack to me. Nothing. Right? Because and I certainly don't get excited when other people pick up your ideas and run with the ball. That is not super cool, in my opinion. So I was definitely like, Andrew Yang is Stargirl. Everything that's happening is magical, right? And I truly believed, and I appreciate. I'm gonna go on one more.
Yeah.
I went to see Andrew Yang in person on September 17th. Right here in Philadelphia, right? And that was a magical day for me. I stuck my hand between like 2-3 other people, shook his hand, he looked me in the eye. It was a moment, it was special, and it was a magical moment for me, right? But I drug along this sad sack, right, of that is a friend to me, but he's a little aggravating because he knew I was going, and he said, "Hey, Scott, can I go along?" He asked me to come along. I didn't invite him because I knew he was going to be a downer, and he was, right? So he trudged along with me, and the whole time he's like, "I don't know, there's a lot of people here, but I don't know if this is going to happen. There's so many obstacles." And what drives me crazy is that dude, that friend of mine, succeeds at being normal. I failed at being epic, right? At pushing forward a candidate who would reshape not just the future of America, but the future of the world, right? And it aggravates me to no end that my friend was 100% right. That every frown he said when Andrew talked, and the whole ride home when he was telling me why Andrew would never be president, and I was like, you were just a sad sack, know nothing. He was right, and I was wrong, right? And he succeeds every day at being normal, and I fail at being epic. Now, the problem is, there's no pain in succeeding at being normal. There is pain at failing at being epic. I got the scrapes on my hand and my knees from the fall. It is painful, and people drink your tears when you fail at being epic. But nobody cares when you succeed at being normal. But it is aggravating. It is aggravating. There are so many people who never believe in magic, right? And they save themselves a lot of pain. But I, for one, do not think it's a better life, and it's not a better way to live. That's my take.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Very true. Yeah. Very true. And I think we saw that in Stargirl as well. Leo, Stargirl's love interest, absolutely succeeded at being normal, whereas Stargirl was truly striving towards epicness and did fail in that in some cases. And you could see that they were just on two whole other levels, and as a result, did not end up together in the movie. And would you like to talk on that?
Oh, no. Actually, we'll side that. We're going with your buttons. So here's the next one. Action versus intention.
Yes.
Can you frame this? Go ahead.
Yes. So another great part of this movie is that Stargirl was an incredibly caring person. One of the first things she did once she comes into town is finds this broken bike in a thrift shop, brings it home, fixes it up, finds out whose family it originally was, and gives it back to them.
But not knowingly. Just puts it on the doorstep. Go ahead.
Yes. Then, later in the movie, she finds the sister of the person whose bike this was, and she tells her, my brother was actually seriously injured in the bike incident. We wanted to give that bike to the thrift store to just never see it again, and you put it back on our doorstep, and that really hurt. And Stargirl genuinely apologized, I think twice in the movie.
Yeah,
that's actually the last thing she says to the people in her high school. She owns up, and she recognizes that action, that her putting that on the doorstep, is more important than intention, than the fact that she wanted to do a nice thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's something everyone, and particularly every politician, needs to realize. You need to own up to your actions and apologize for them if necessary. And it needs to be a genuine apology, because we've seen a lot of half-hearted apologies. Oh, it was just to get this bill passed. And I think that Stargirl said, intentions do not matter as much as your actions. So would you agree with that?
Actually, I 100% agree with most of what you said. I have a little bit of a different take.
Yeah.
So, one, I think that this movie absolutely was about action versus... that one of the themes of this film was action versus intention. So, Stargirl was very used to taking action. And sometimes they had unintended consequences. I totally am down with actions that have unintended consequences. And guess, boy, were you right. Andrew Yang is Stargirl. Big time. All right, so one, UBI, right? From the gate, Andrew Yang came out and went, UBI, right? And I go, I don't give two rats about UBI. But wait, you're super intelligent. You've succeeded in 3 different spheres. You communicate incredibly well. You're fun in politics, which is completely unheard of. Boy, oh boy, is Biden. Boy, if you took Biden and Bernie and shook them upside down and made sure every bit of fun fell off of them, they'd have more fun on them than they have now. They are the least fun candidates I have ever seen in my life. Like, how could you serve these two people up as the next president? It is shockingly bad, right? He's fun. He's just brilliant. He has this noble heart. He's a husband and a father, right? I don't give two rats about UBI. In fact, in my opinion, I was really ready for UBI to be a massive failure, right? And I'm like, that's totally fine. I don't care. I don't care about the platform. I care about the person. The person here is bigger than the platform, right? And that's what drives me nuts about Bernie and Biden. Their platforms are terrible, and neither one of them are like the people who serve my hoagie at Wawa are more interesting than both these people. Like, I'm so like, all my hope for this election is just sucked out. It's so bad. But that's my point is, to me, I will follow a leader who makes wrong decisions over a leader who takes no risk or makes no decisions. And that's exactly what Biden is. Biden doesn't have a thought in his head. Every single answer is, we're going to handle coronavirus the way we handled Ebola. That sounds like a shockingly bad idea, and just an echo of, you're going to do everything Obama did, right? Like, it's his literal platform is, I will echo Obama. It's terrible, right? And Bernie's like, hey, socialism has utterly destroyed the Soviet Union. It's utterly destroyed Venezuela. It's utterly destroyed China. Why don't we try it here? I'm like, no. And that's my issue is with, and actually, I have to say, I have a little more respect for Bernie, because he's got a bad platform, but he believes in it, right? Like, so it's really, but the other thing, though, is he's completely unelectable. And boy, it pains me to say this, but it turned out that Andrew Yang was completely unelectable. My friend told me that. He was shockingly right and frustratingly right. And I have to come to grips with that. I'm still coming to grips with that. But the idea that action is more important than intention, it was a major theme of this film. I 100% agree. I have no problems with you trying to make the world better, and then it turns to utter chaos. I'm fine with that. I would much prefer somebody who tries stuff and it fails than somebody who does things by caution, or does things through safety, or does nothing, or echoes old actions for a modern world. Those are super bad ideas, in my opinion, and super boring ideas. Like, it's just, and especially with a country that's just like covered in wealth, we have a little bit of room to move, so I absolutely, that's a very, very big one. There was one more political button. Hit it.
So I think in Stargirl, the similarity and the difference between Leo and Stargirl, the two love interests of this movie, where they were both a little eccentric. Leo liked to wear these crazy ties his dad used to wear.
Say it. Since it's a Disney movie, what happened to his dad in the first scene?
Yeah, his dad is dead, and he's wearing his dead dad's ties.
And I have to say this real quick. This movie starts with the most down Disney trope there is, which is dead parent, and then the reason why I love the movie is I feel like it shattered every single expectation of the film after that, right? It really went at, so go right ahead.
Yeah. Everything you would expect from a Disney romance happens in, the first 20 minutes. And then you have a lot of, a good hour of very interesting happenings. So, but I think the difference between them is Leo did the same, they did the same thing. He wore his porcupine tie, and he went to school all excited, and he got beat up.
They cut his tie off.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Stargirl came to school, and she's in bright overalls and has a ukulele, and she walks right up to Leo, who she has not met, and sings him happy birthday Leo on his birthday without knowing his name or his birthday. So I think the difference between these two characters and the difference between good candidates and bad candidates is do the work, do the research. We've seen this a million times with Bloomberg and Steyer, people who just want to buy their way in. She had an office. She had a shed full of just beautiful work for the whole town, and this is the shaking hands and kissing babies that all the candidates have done for years, and that some unfortunately neglected and got beat.
Right. Yeah. Well, but now the thing that's shocking is one of the things is at the end of the movie, Stargirl has to go away because everybody rejects her, and that's exactly with how Andrew Yang worked like crazy, and the U.S. rejected him. Bernie and Biden both did lackluster. Actually, I can't say that about Bernie. Biden did an incredibly lackluster job. Skipped all kinds of interviews, put in way less sweat, and is about to put in virtually no sweat. Right, and everybody's like, yeah, it's good, we're good. So it was exactly like the movie. You have to watch 5 out of 5 stars. Disney Plus Stargirl is absolutely fantastic. We are infatuated with this movie. We really, really dug it. Thank you for letting us share our thoughts with you on how Stargirl overlaps, impacts, intersects, and is part of U.S. American politics. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.